We are continuing to nail the targets for ticker symbol VIRI. Let's go ahead and look at the potentials for the following days. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by. Once again, this is ARCa coming at you with a VIRI, technicals, raw price action, and statistical threat of analysis on this Taco Tuesday. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community and Discord called ARCa Bulls. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Okay, you guys, so yeah, we were looking at a potential target already of 173, of which we faced a top side of 175 or 179 today, right? So very impressive price action here and the continuation to the upside in respects to our statistical back tests, right? So now I want to go ahead and move on fairly quickly here because I want to touch down on the resistances that are coming up. Now, the resistances that are coming up are not by any means actually the end of ticker symbol VIRI. In fact, these are going to be the resistances to face a pullback so that we can then start gaining the the new bulls yet again for the continuation for an upside, as there is still massive upside to continue for this, right? Particular to a 5-day volatility versus momentum backtest. Okay, so right in the immediate short term, I can actually see a retracement happening anywhere between from this chart here on the 12-hour chart, where it's appearing as 191 to about 199. Now, please remember that the 199 is actually confluent with the top side of the price objective from the formation itself, right? So, this is the breakout, right? So anytime that whatever candle it was that we broke out from, we apply that metric to the top side, and you can see that we're getting that 191 area as a target, right? So that's looking like a very high possibility, at least for the shorter term time frame. Now, if we want to consolidate that upside into a Fib ratio, then please notice here that we have the 188 at the 3.618 in a different time frame, right? So that's very likely going to be the range. So 188 to about the space of 197 or 199, that is going to be our zone to actually face a pullback. And now the pullback would actually be to come back and validate the support from where we started this capitulation candle back in September 2022, before we had that huge capitulation to the downside. We are currently testing that support right now at 162. Okay, you guys, so very likely for the price action to continue onwards and upwards and then come back and validate that same zone, the one we're in right now, as the support before a continuation to the upside. Okay, you guys, so let's continue validating that potential thesis, right? So this is actually a new chart that I put together for ticker symbol VIRI. Please notice that 188 on the daily chart now, it is being shown as the 2.272 at this area here. So now I can actually see that 188 as a potential. I'll show you why I have 187 written shortly enough. Now, notice that the support range that I'm talking about down here, these are short-term supports, okay? So I'm looking at 154, which is landing perfectly with the 1.618 Fibonacci retracement tool. And please notice as well that we have another perfect touch here, particular to the I'm sorry, it would actually be right down here. This is one of our discretionary supports, the ones that we have in this where was that damn chart? This chart right over here, right? So we have that 101 right here at the 1.618 on the 12-hour chart, right? So now looking at this new chart that I'm kind of putting together right now, or plotting, we can see that 102 is the not 618 on the daily. So yeah, that could be the bottom side support area. And if I can be on it, actually it wouldn't be quite an invalidation zone, but yeah, we don't want to clear any candles below the area of about, I would say, the range between 95 and 102. That's an inflection zone. We don't want to close any candles below that, but I can actually still see a continuation here for price action, at least for the upside, right? So I'm still kind of favoring the bulls. So now the 187 resistance that I'm talking about right here is coming from the 5-day Gaussian channel. Please notice that we're about to hit that resistance from the top side of it, and it is right at 187, which rhymes with the 188 that we're talking about to the 191 resistance zone, which rhymes with the top side of the price objective for for the right-angled broadening ascending wedge. It rhymes with all the geometric targets, right? So that's why I'm saying that very likely, you guys, we can find a resistance from that zone. We'll come back and validate the current highs. Right, so I'm talking about around 180, 183. That would be the current highs for us to test, and then we would continue on to that upside. Okay, you guys. So now, please notice that the 30-minute time frame is already suggesting a downside here, and so is the 4-hour time frame. But also, these are very limited downsides, suggested by the SMA 14 right below us. Right, so that could be a continuation to the downside. First of all, on the 30-minute, it bleeding into the 30-minute. Bleeding into the hourly and bi-hourly, but then when it hits the 4-hour time frame, it'll find that support from not only the 14-day simple, but the gravitational zone itself from the bull strength percentile. We'll get that gravitational push to the upside and continuation, and then a continuation to the top side, right? So 8-hour time frames showing us that it doesn't have too much of a bias for the downside. And now jumping into the buy daily, you can see that we have a very clear upside pivot. We have that same very clear vertical pivot here on that 3-day time frame and on the 5-day, just entering the bullish control zone right now. I'm liking it. I mean, this is still very bullish to me. In fact, I'm already long this ticker, right? So I'm a very short-term trader too, you guys. Okay, so just know that. But now, as far as the 5-day volatility versus momentum backtest, I'm actually favoring the upper bound of the first standard deviation of 125% upside thrust, which is leading to a target of about 279. So, but remember, there's going to be some ebb and flow as we go up there, right? So this is a very particular backtest here, is because first of all, volatility versus momentum is a very strong profile, and also the fact that we have DMI support. Please notice here that the ADX, which is the average directional index, with represented by the dotted white line, that is actually sitting at 28% to the ups, 28% in market trend. Okay, so anytime that the ADX is above 25%, or ideally 30% and up, then that would be a very strong market trend to whoever is leading the trend. And in this case, you can see the DMI plus, which is the bulls. They are absolutely leading the way. We have increasing volatility and an upside pivot in the bullish control zone with stochastic momentum. This price action is very likely to continue on to the upside. But you know, first of all, we're just going to face kind of a tiny little bit of a downside in the shorter time frame for a loading zone, right? And then we would continue to that upside. But yeah, guys, I'm definitely liking what I'm seeing here. And please remember that first and foremost, I'm not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. But with that said, you guys, I wish you well, a very, very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.